is Europe is a very broadened question, as there are so many different countries and cultures. I'm from Norway, grew up there, and moved to England to study. These two countries are the only two I've been able to experience properly, except from holidays in Greece, Spain, and Cyprus, where everything has been built up for tourism. Norway and England are quite similar culturally, but Norway has a far better economy, which has made me appreciate all the goods we get in my home country.
What is Europe? I think Europe is made of lots of different cultures, countries and populations, but I still think they're quite similar between them. I lived in 5 different countries in Europe, and you can see the differences from one country to another country. But in a way, we share the same tradition and festivities and mentality in a way. It's not like going to China or Japan or something. I'm half Italian, half Russian, but lately I started considering myself European rather than Italian or Russian. Maybe because I lived in different countries, so I kind of have assimilated different cultures altogether.
What is Europe? I come from Buckinghamshire, and I would say there are a lot of similarities between where I live in England and Europe. One of the main ones is that in Buckinghamshire we're brought up in a way where we learn to civilise drink, where it's not binge drinking. We learn to appreciate the drink, to drink with our parents, to appreciate the price of drink and not buy necessarily really cheap stuff, which is the same as France, Germany and places like Switzerland. When I came to London, I was very shocked because obviously it's a complete change in culture. There's more binge drinking. It's cheaper to buy alcohol. They drink more beer instead of wine. And yeah, no.
Okay. Well, Norway is not really that different from the UK culture-wise. People might seem a bit colder in general than people from the UK because we don't really talk to people that we don't know, just to be nice. I feel in London people are very polite. The drinking culture is different in Norway. We don't usually hang out in pubs or bars on a Monday to have a few beers and hang out. When we're with our friends, we usually come to their houses and to hang out. So yeah.
I am from Northern Ireland and I have always lived there until I came to uni in London. I think Northern Ireland is less diverse than London as it is very backward in its religions and views. From working I have noticed a small diversity as most people are English speaking. So in my opinion, Europe is the coming together of countries which share and explore each culture.
I'm from the southeast of England and I've always lived there. I think the southeast is a really diverse place. People from different nationalities have settled there to make it a really diverse culture. Different nationalities and religions from all over Europe have gathered there, making it a window into what Europe is like.
What is Europe? I think firstly Europe is steeped in history. It's built from wars and empires and famous musicians, and it's got strong foundations in culture. And I think this really brings Europe together as a continent with things like Eurovision, the Euros, and on a political scale, the EU, which has struggled but is in the process of recovery, hopefully. And it is at the forefront of new developments, for instance in science with the CERN Hadron Collider, in fashion with in Milan and Paris, and also with music with stars from Britain such as One Direction. So yeah, that's what I think Europe's about.
In my opinion, Europe is everything but the UK. The UK seems very different in comparison to the cultures of like France, Germany and Spain. I've been to like France, Germany, Spain, Italy quite a few times in my life, and I have to say, the people behave more, behave better, the food's much better, all of that stuff, and I just don't see that in the UK, and I just feel like the UK is basically like America's little, friend sort of thing. Just we're so miles behind the culture of Europe and of everything as well, and also like the people in Europe speak better English than us as well, which is quite funny. You'd think that England, English language of England, speak much better, but obviously not.
Europe is the seed of Platonic thought, the idea of perfection, of betterment, and a top-down view of the universe, but it now dominates alongside the USA with consumerism and technology. It is the birthplace of the Roman Empire, whose influence, like that of the Hellenistic world, penetrated Africa and Asia, but after its crumbling, it became a surrogate of a twisted Christianity, which destroyed liberation theology and put the world in chains during the age of imperialism. So it is the womb for the aspirations of power and wealth in our consciousness today.
What is Europe? It's a continent where I have lived most of my life. Living in Italy, Rome, the capital city containing many historical places such as Colosseum, Trevi Fountain, have given me a clear idea on what Europe is about. Also, food, life, people, friends makes Italy a unique country. Living as international student, I can conclude that the United Kingdom and Italy have a diverse way to live. So, therefore, this makes Europe a fascinating continent having different cultures, people, and lifestyles.
What is Europe? Well, most cynics will claim that Europe is just a continent, is a piece of land riddled with people of different history, different culture, different backgrounds. I think that all the values of being of different culture, like being a French culture, British culture, Danish culture, Swedish culture, is morphing into a present way of thinking of being of European culture, while under the culture of Europe, there's different shapes and shades. I believe that this can also help Europe move towards be at the forefront of globalization, where everyone is working together towards a common goal, and Europe is leading this movement at the moment by putting all these people together under one ball. I think that Europe, in the end, is more than just a continent. Its people is what makes Europe.